Howdy, howdy, howdy. It's the TA report for October 2nd. Another beautiful Monday evening here in Georgia. Can't speak for you guys. It's your boy Bags with Nick JFDI, and you've met our counterpart. You've known me from sometimes to be Bearish Bags, but we'd like to introduce you to Bearish G Pisa. Hey, welcome, Bearish G Pisa.
No. Just cautious.
That's not what I heard just a moment ago. That's the reason why I gave you that illustrious intro there, GP.
Fine. You know, when the trend changed in the first week of January and everyone ignored it, your resident bullish but now bearish kind of sort of person told you to flip your script. The trend is changing. We're holding the 21 SMA on the weekly, and last 2 weeks we broke the 21 SMA, and last week we tried to reclaim it. We rejected. If this week we don't reclaim the 21 SMA, then you have potential for further downside here, and it could get real ugly because, dude, look at the price action, and holy shit, the amount of names that are not named mega caps, and even the mega caps just don't look great. And so it might be the wear you out situation. Like, what in the flying fuck was today's price or overnight price action from yesterday and today? Like, it's mind-boggling.
F-bomb dropped 1 minute and 15 seconds into the video.
Yeah, well, dude, just look at the price action, right? We're up 150 points overnight. Europe opened and then just straight sell. We opened down 50, 60 points or whatever it was, and then we skyrocketed to take out overnight highs, and then no news, just let me start selling. And boom, we just start selling, and we literally almost went red on almost everything. And then the last hour, we rock it up again. This is just, it's mine. It's stay out of the way. In my opinion.
You're talking about futures right now?
Yeah. But similar to the Qs, right? If you look at the Qs this morning, right? It gapped up. It got sold at 362.68 with the doji and just straight down, not a lot of volume, and then was going red, went red, kind of tried to pop, and then went red again, and then boom, and then the last 15 minutes we go ape shit. It's mind-boggling, this price action, and it's not fun to kind of, unless you're a intraday scalper galore, it's not fun.
Hi.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, day traders got to be loving it because again, volatility is opportunity. So going both directions.
But the volatility isn't high, yet the price action is volatile, right?
It's enough though. Like, I made 30% on some QQQ calls today that you just less than a 30-minute trade, and boom, I'm out. Bye. See you later.
And to pull up
And look, futures are now just taking a big old dump while we're talking.
Big old dump candle.
They heard me.
So this is talking about a change of character in the market, GP. You've got a little bit of change of character. You're a little bit even all of last year, 2022, you were the one who were like, I'm going to wait. We're going to watch Netflix. That's my bull market indicator. Netflix. I believe it's going to get bought up. Then sure enough, October, what happened? Boom, right? We started moving, and you're out here like, yay, see, I told you, right? And I don't mean, see, I told you in a bad way. I was like the patience, the wherewithal to stand in there and keep standing in the batter's box, taking pitches. And now, I mean, what are we now on? We're basically since June, right? The end of May, we're flat, we're sideways. And I can remember back here, right? You said the same thing to me from May to February. Is like we're sideways, right? We're not, the trend has changed. And it seems like now this price action over a few weeks has really shifted your optimism that we saw through all of this over here. So
Yeah.
are you saying, sorry, let me get my question out.
Yep.
Are you saying that you are in the camp of, if this doesn't resolve this week or soon, then we are in danger to break down, and who knows where that bottom will be, but it's lower than here if it breaks from here, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think 330. I think it could be a pretty nasty shake to the 334 area.
Yeah, that's where we got that mark right there.
Yeah, so that's the level where it started to go sideways, essentially. So that's kind of like the level I want to hold, but it's not like a zero-sum game, right? You got to see how the price action goes. But to me, we are, you can, what's that blue moving average there?
That's the 9 weekly.
So the 9 is crossing below the 21 or the 20, whatever that is. And so that is inherently bearish, right? You have it broke the 21, tried to reclaim it, and got rejected by it. And so this week, I think you have to bust back through to the 21 to kind of hopefully reverse the trend here. And I personally believe it has to be led by Netflix and Apple, right? That's just the same indication that I used in May of 2022 in like that
Netflix
June
is out of its channel now. Like Netflix.
It's out of its channel. There's literally not a single buyer to be found. It's struggling. It had news, right, so to speak. The CFO said something, but that literally was exactly the same news that was released during earnings. So we had similar movement back in November, December, January of 2021 to 2022. Netflix dropped 200 points going into earnings and then dropped another 100 points after earnings, right? So it went from 700 to 397 on earnings. So it's behaving very similar to that time period. There's nothing that's helping it. Apple also, and Netflix and Apple happen to be the two stocks last week in the mega cap world that didn't put in green weeks. They put in red
Apple had a
weeks.
nice day today. I mean, 1.5% on a day for Apple's pretty decent.
What did I say? It has to be led by Apple and Netflix, right?
Yeah.
It can't, like, it can be all the others, but Apple and Netflix have to be the big movers for the week, is my opinion.
We could see something like this potentially build out here, right? Like that's not out of the question.
Yeah.
That would keep the porridge just right.
I think we're on January 6th of this year, we broke out above the 21 weekly moving average, right? And then we came back to test it in February, we held it. And so if that trend changes, you have to adjust your narrative, right? And so and then when, like, literally September felt like it was all selling, but somehow half of September was green. I have no clue how, but like green days in the queues, right? But literally everything got taken to the woodshed, and then taken to the slaughterhouse, and then there was a third leg down too. It was just the price action after basing for a couple years is straight down is not always the greatest of.
All right, Nick.
Yeah.
Nick, can you? Are you going to try to rebut that, or are you along those same lines? Give me your take. We've heard bearish GP for the last 9 minutes, just about. So,
I mean, like I've kind of just said or have mentioned to a lot of the guys that I work with, it's like when the market's in a range, this is when the most, and again, this is more of a trader's perspective than, investors or long-term investors. This is when the most amount of people get hurt. We're in a range and we're chopping up and down, up and down, up and down. As far as the Qs are concerned, we're still in just basically that 350 to, let's just say 380, 390 range. So until something significant changes, I'm in a camp that we're just chopping while we let the 200-day catch up. I would agree that Apple's pretty important, but Apple has already, was basically a couple points away from its 200-day. Could we see another leg down? Sure. I think Tesla's actually pretty damn important as well, but I'm not in like a super bearish camp per se. If I zoom out and I'm looking at the Qs on the monthly, I didn't really like August's candle and that big tail, but the volume was all right. And then last month's candle was on lower volume than that. And as of right now, it's holding. The moving averages that I have on my monthly are the 8, the 12, and the 18. I don't even know why I have the 8 period on there now that I'm looking at it. It's usually the 12 and the 18 are kind of what I more or less pay attention to. And yeah, I mean, we've had a solid run up year. I'm doing my best to not have too many expectations, and I have relatively small positions on right now. I'm long, but they're relatively small positions, so I don't really, I don't know. I don't care which way we go at this point. I think if we see further downside, it's just going to be washing out more and more.
GP just said, "Fuck Santa."
From a Weinstein point of view, we're in the gift zone right now. We're at the 150-day or the 30-week. So we bust lower and this floor kind of falls out on the Qs. I think we've got about a 20 to 30 point move lower.
334 area.
Yeah, absolutely. I could even see, or wouldn't be too bummed to see us like shake that even lower and like kind of really retest like that let's just say 310 to 320. I think if we break and this floor breaks and we break lower, I think we're gonna really start to see like Armageddon. I guess I don't even know. I don't follow
Armageddon,
but like I think we're gonna start to see those type of tweets, and then I think that people will really start to be watching for 300 to get tested, and I just don't think that we're gonna get down there. It's just where I'm at currently. If the price action warrants, a different look when we get down there, then so be it, because I can only put if thens together based on the current the current candle, the current outlook. There's so many unknowns that can happen between here and let's say and the 200-day moving average if we do roll over, or between here and 310, 320. Sure, we could see like a freaking flash crash thing where we like literally puke and retest it and bounce, or we could roll on a much longer term. Again, going out to the monthly, if the Qs rolled back over and we wanted to retest that last year's lows, I would be perfectly okay with that, and I would be a buyer versus last year's lows, because I just have a major range or channel drawn from basically the August 2020 lows kind of across through last year's lows. So it would just look like a giant channel to me. I don't think that would be great. Like, I don't think that would be pretty, and I think it would be pretty painful, but I don't think it'd be the end of the world.
I mean, I feel like Harry and you guys are Lloyd of Dumb and Dumber, and we're sitting here and you're going, we've got no food, we've got no jobs, our pets' heads are falling off. That's what I feel like right now.
I mean, I think like Tesla, for instance, is my focus, and Tesla, and then like cybersecurity, I think is kind of where my focus is. I like the cybersecurity names, and Tesla, I think, is setting up for like a monster. I
think it
move
looks
here,
great.
but, yeah,
I mean, what do I know?
Yeah, we can only trade the market that we have, and I didn't really like seeing the IWM today. Like that was kind of
small caps have been puke.
Yeah, I would like to see them start to participate, but it kind of looks like they want to head back down to that low end of the range. So, if I was an IWM trader, I'd looking to be a buyer in the 160s, basically.
Bags, you're talking about one's macro versus technicals, right? So
Yeah,
we're talking about technicals, and you're saying everyone has jobs. I get that.
No. I'm talking about Dumb and Dumber. Like you guys are freaking out, and I'm just sitting there shell shocked because our pets' heads are falling off.
I don't think we're gonna actually break down. So if you look at the Nasdaq composite, right? Bags?
Here we go. GP's doing
No, not the Qs. The
He's doing it for engagement.
No, composite, the Nasdaq composite. Right, it's 2,500 stocks. So if you're looking at a weekly kind of basis, that 13,181 level, I believe, is what I have, is the Adam and Eve kind of breakout retest. So it tested below that and closed above it last week. So I do like how the Nasdaq composite is looking, and I'm hopeful that Apple and Netflix will lead. But if they don't, and we don't reclaim the 21 SMA this week, then we're in potentially, markets are forward looking, right? So right now everyone has jobs, so it could be looking out to say, well, maybe everyone won't have a job in 6 months, right? So just got to keep an eye on the price action, because as soon as you break those trends and you have the bullish trend go from bullish to bearish on the 921 cross down, you just got to pay attention, because you hope it gets reclaimed and it's like kind of a false breakdown, but we don't know at this point. It started the week really well, right? Where Qs are about to take out prior week's highs already, so it's hopeful, but you got to be cautious.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, what I just mentioned in the chat. I'm like, let the market come to you. Know your setups, have your alerts set, and your dry powder ready. You don't need to be all in, all out. Throw starters on where you've got, clear defined risk, and manage it. I don't think, I mean,
what are we shorting tomorrow other than CarMax?
That's a good question. Let me take.
Speaking of CarMax, and it's another one we gave away some free alpha on. It's only down 80%.
I think for me,
just short square.
Short square.
Yeah,
literally just short square. Why are we messing around with anything else? It's literally, it's down 50%. Fucking hey, man. Why are we messing around with anything? Square is just straight down. No one wants it.
I mean, that chart doesn't look too dissimilar to CarMax. CarMax just fell off the cliff last week. Look at that. It's going lower. Sorry. I'm just sorry, guys. I'm just shocked. I'm taken back, quite frankly. Just look at the Dixie just go bananas.
And the rates just keep going bananas, and there's so many divergences, yet it just keeps pushing higher and higher, and until that breaks.
Where did Cookie say he thought the VIX was going? Was it in the 20s, or was it where did he? I can't remember where he said he thought the VIX was going.
I don't remember.
It seems like it was a long time ago.
I know, doesn't it?
Yeah. Even though it was last week, it feels like a long time ago. But the VIX is looking bullish, right? Like that's another thing that you have to.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is looking bullish.
So there's just stuff here that's of concern.
No bueno to the G-Pisa.
Yes. Hey man,
No bueno if you're a bull.
we keep it bias free for the most part, right? And
Yeah.
the bias shifted, so we gotta adjust as necessary. Am I internally hopeful that Apple and Netflix both have great weeks and everything is okay by Friday? Yes, but who knows? It's only Monday.
Yeah.
Dude,
What do you
XBI
think
is breaking
of-
down.
I
XBI
was gonna
is
say-
breaking down. XLU is breaking down. XLE is breaking down. Literally one after the other. These are getting slammed.
I mean, maybe that's probably your. I mean, is that your short target list there, like XLE names? It was nice to see the finally take out that 50-day, and it was pretty heavy volume too.
Yeah, but XLE has been a monster fucking annoyer. So
Isn't that
it
good?
could it's still at the top of the distribution range, right? Ultimately. So it could just bounce and go higher, bounce and go higher and lower. So until it has a distinctive break, to me,
I should have been on that short, like I said I was going to do with CarMax. That's a tasty trade. Tasty.
Gold absolutely took a shit
Yeah.
too.
you remember
It's
that?
like-
Remember that? Everyone's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, gold looks great." I'm like, "It looks like shit."
No, it
And then
doesn't. No. It even gapped down this morning. Oof.
And
What's
yes, there
the-
are,
what-
so
what-
the other thing, Nick, what I'll just remind you about Tesla is Tesla tends to operate in its own world when it comes like think about what Tesla did from October to December while the markets didn't really do that, right? Tesla went from what 297 to 101 in 2 months.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
So it tends, because it's not heavy institutionally owned or fund owned, it tends to kind of operate outside of the regularly flying circle, whereas Apple and Netflix are pretty heavily institutional owned. So when those start to underperform, and Apple in specific, because it's owned by so many ETFs across so many different platforms, that when those start to underperform, that's why you have to kind of notice and pay attention to them.
Man, Tesla has 4,000 funds involved right now. 33% owned by funds.
Yeah, but their total institutional investors only like 44%, whereas Netflix I think is 82%. For a company like Tesla, which is close to $1 trillion in valuation,
Yeah,
to be only owned by I know it's a retail stock, but that's kind of that's why it's so volatile.
sure.
The communication services sector looks like the best thing out there.
Yeah, we talked about that a few
Sector
weeks ago, right?
spiders. Yeah.
And that's Meta. Meta is like 25%.
And Google. I think Google's in there too, right?
Yeah, but I think the top two own 45% of the XLC.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah.
Anything stand out? Like, is there anything that you do like, or like, where would your focus be if the market does turn? Other than let's just say
55-gallon drums of lube.
Turn upside or downside, Nick?
upside.
Upside?
Yeah,
I think you have to be in Meta, because Meta just, it's showing so much strength.
relative strength.
And I personally, from an anecdotal perspective, I think those 299 glasses are going to be game changers, because this is a content driven economy, right? Lots of people have retired because they create content and make a lot of money and do all this stuff. Those glasses allow you to stream what you're looking at, right? I think it changes the game. and the price point is only $299.
I think cyber still looks pretty good.
Yeah, I do too. I like, ZS and Crowd and Palo Alto.
I just pulled up the bug there. Bug looks, and Crowd probably looks stronger than ZS a little bit. Yeah. Palo Alto, yeah. I mean, Palo Alto looks more like the Qs right now, not quite as bad, but yeah, Crowd and ZS look pretty good, pretty solid.
Can we talk about the shitstorm that is Target?
What's going on with Target? Just shit in bed? Yeah.
It's just getting mauled. It's behaving like Square.
Wow. What's the best of the best doing? Just keep
doing the best of the best.
Just keep going. I mean, they had a little burp last week, and all of a sudden, right on up.
Yeah.
Right on up. Walmart, what's Wally World doing? Nothing. Walmart is looking bad.
Walmart and McDonald's are also two names that you gotta kind of pay attention. McDonald's is taking a dump too.
McDonald's does not look good. Ooh. Let's just start throwing out names here. Tractor Supply. Oof. Who else? Ross Stores. What was Ross?
It's okay. ROST.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
TJ Maxx. It's okay. Showing a little weakness though.
China still sucks a big freaking.
Who else?
Caterpillar's holding up all right. DE not so much at all though.
CMG. Yeah.
Oh, the 200-day.
Cat. Huh? Deer.
Now connected to Gautam.
We got you. Deer does not look good. PayPal was green though. Our friend Andrew Hairston said. Was it?
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah. 10 cents. 10 cents. Hey, win's a win. You got to take them how you can get them sometime.
So Etsy's getting destroyed.
Yeah. eBay does not look good.
Your Wayfair had a good day.
Wayfair, yes. But when you drop 20 points straight and you have a $1 bounce, it's like taking a gallon out of the ocean.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say, like, let's not pull up charts right now on our stock twats quarterly picks right now. Fastly is challenged, Nick.
Yeah, I know.
Fastly is challenged.
But even some, like, if you're looking at Tractor Supply names like TSCO,
yeah, that's what I just pulled up a second ago.
Yeah, none of the stuff is looking great, to be honest. So
I just ran through a whole bunch of them.
So this is like similar to 2021, right? Where the Qs kind of kept holding up, but everything underneath was getting smoked.
Airbnb looks okay. SNPS. What is SNPS? Synopsis. Trying to break out above the range. Give me a 470 on Synopsis. Getting tight on the RSI.
You got the list of 52-week highs. It is a sad list. It's a very sad list.
Nike is bottoming, says Anchors. Maybe. I don't know. I like that it popped on earnings, but is it trying to get it back? Maybe.
All these charts look the same, man, right?
Yeah, they're definitely broken. I mean, like, there's not a lot of there's not
sell
a lot
it
of
all.
quality.
Sell it all.
I'm not saying don't sell. I mean, again, from a trader's perspective, like, there's just no quality setups. Unless you're looking for a very specific setup on like a candle by candle basis, there's not a lot of a good looking setups.
One thing that I'm noticing is this lower highs on the RSIs and the stochastics too. Regardless of what price action's doing, there's nothing trying to put in a divergence.
Oh
right?
man, Boeing just straight down.
Yeah.
God, it's like just nothing. Just can't catch a bid.
Disney hasn't caught a bid since 2014.
I think there's a major battle happening with this, like, what is it, the ESG score and the woke kind of shit that's going, I mean, that's kind of what hit target initially, isn't it?
Said the woke kind of shit.
Yeah, I mean,
He's referring to the soy boys.
But like, target.
Look at Baba, right? Even China is not doing well.
Well, China hasn't been doing well for a while.
Yeah, I know, but every time it feels like it's gonna go, it just takes a dump, right? So, how's the new IPO doing? Cart, just straight down.
Well, that's to be expected. Like who was buying in the 40s?
The guy who's crying right now.
Like who was buying in the 40s? Like that's just silly. ARM, what's ARM done? Straight down? Yeah.
No, it's been it's getting there, but
I mean, day one you were up to 66. Day two you were up to 69. Is it 69 on the penny? Yes, it is.
Then you look at names like Home Depot, right? Like these are economy names, and
we liked Home Depot not too long ago.
Yeah, and then the obvious Head and Shoulders just plays out, and you're like, wait, what? And then, so I see a lot of these charts that are somewhat the positives I do see is that they have these mini kind of Head and Shoulders distributions, and they're pulling back into kind of their base channels, and they're completing their Head and Shoulder measured moves. So the ideal thing is now buyers show up. So that's what we want to see. And that's what this week and the next few weeks will be about, in my opinion.
So sell it all and come back in November.
Was that like Humana and
one day into October, we're just writing it off.
Dude, look at LLY, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, Nick, I interrupted you.
No, you're good.
This is also starting to show cracks, right? Like there's stuff that's been leading that's been starting to show cracks. So
how about old Widowmaker here?
Yeah.
You know, the more charts I'm pulling up, the more they look like shit.
You know what actually looks decent? FedEx.
That looks more than decent. What do the transports look like? The transports are holding on the edge of the cliff.
And NVIDIA looks good. It already took out last week's high. It's last 2 weeks high, actually. So
well, you know what's going to be said about that, right?
That it's a fraud.
That right there. It's good.
Yeah, and it could be.
I mean, if we do start to roll, I think the semis are going to be a hot sector to look for a short, or to look for short setups.
I shit you not. I was looking about 6 months out for an NVIDIA put, but they're so ridiculously priced that it's just not worth the.
This man said he was looking 6 months out for an NVIDIA put.
Actually, 6 to 9 months, I believe.
Look at ASML. I mean, not straight down as bad as these other charts, but this is a pretty big semi name, and it does not look well.
Wow.
And I believe it all started with SCMI,
SMCI.
SMCI, which had a good day today.
Yeah.
It looks
But
much better.
that warning shot candle is telling you all you need to know about this one, in my opinion.
I agree. I agree. Those two massive bars off 300. I mean,
Yeah, this is just we can go through charts and you're gonna get
So
more
are you
miserable.
telling me this and this are the same?
How many weeks can we reject the weekly 9? Tell me.
I don't fucking know. It's an infinite number. I mean, it could go on forever. The market can go to zero, right?
Well, if we keep rejecting the 9, it eventually flattens out, right? Because it'll just be at the 9 week.
If you keep rejecting, it's got to be lower every week.
But it's going the moving average will start to flatten out.
Yeah, but to reject it, it would have to go lower every time. So it could be
it could stay right below. The price action is just not great. It's
like the slowest sinking ship of all time that can never dock. It finally sinks one day. I'm depressed.
CRM is also showing you one of those mini head and shoulders, right?
Yeah, I haven't really liked CRM since for a few weeks now.
Yeah. So, like, then you have names like Shop, right?
yeah.
We may as well just wrap up the show and call it a night. We went through every chart.
What's crypto doing? I haven't.
The one that looks decent to me, which means they'll probably ruin it this week, is Globe.
Which one?
Globe, GLBE.
GLOB.
GLOV.
No, GLBE.
Globe. Sorry. Yeah, that's up Michael Burry's tits up in there.
No, I was talking about GLBE.
GLV.
Oh.
Global E Online or whatever it's called.
GLVE?
B's and boy.
GLBE?
Yes. So it's kind of flagging above that pivot from last year.
Yeah.
And kind of holding. So this looks pretty good, but nothing looks right.
Randy asks, is everyone raising cash?
I've been, I mean, I was forced out just based on trail stops and
yeah. I think Randy I think the weird part is everyone was expecting the September seasonality, and literally we got it every single freaking day of September.
Ooh, look at United Health. Sorry, UNH.
Well, rounded little bottom there.
The hum looks pretty good too.
It's distribution at the top.
Yeah.
This guy.
I'm serious, right? Like that's all it looks like, and that's
this fucking guy.
Yeah, it's not really a patience game.
Well, ultimately, we're also starting to get to a point where things are becoming stagnant, right? The whole housing market's kind of stagnant.
I'm just gonna pull up Redfin.
It's taking a massive dump. Zillow looks better.
Dumpy. You guys are just the ball of enthusiasm tonight on the bearishness.
I warned you.
You did. I thought you were bullshitting.
Nope.
GP selling it all.
No, I'm waiting for this week though. If we don't,
Selling it all.
I will be raising a lot of cash because it's I really don't want to sit through another 37% drawdown like 2022.
22.
Right, and we talked about this with Amazon, right? Like it didn't even get to that pivot and it got destroyed. Straight down. And right, like look at XBI. That looks terrible.
Yeah, it does. It looks horrendous.
Yeah, XBI is bad.
Oh my goodness.
This is just, and then XBI and XLU look the same. It's terrible.
And with that, that'll be our Monday show. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I'm gonna go cry. Randy, just back to your question on raising cash. I raised some previously. I can raise some more, but I've got a nice little cash. Cash. Excuse me for the yawn. It's been a long week already. It's Monday.
Dude, look at what they've done to PODD. It is,
I don't even know what PODD is.
It's a S&P 500 stock.
Oofta.
Just brutalized. It's just,
So I don't know if anybody's listening. So in O'Neill's book, you know, he typically he states that 3 consecutive interest rate hikes typically mark, you know, a very significant market top. I'm curious if he has anything in terms of lowering interest rates. Like, so are they going to start slashing rates, you think, next year?
let's think it through, right? Nick, the economy is doing well as of now.
Right.
And so they're not going to cut rates now. They'll probably just keep them steady. If so, I think I went through a lot of these scenarios in my head, and if they cut rates, we are in a terrible situation, right? That's basically what it gets to.
But if we're heading into if we're heading into politics season and an election ordeal, I can't imagine them wanting the markets looking the way that they, I guess, as long as the indices are holding up, I guess maybe they don't care. But
dude, we in election season in 2020, we got COVID. We went straight down for 5 weeks, 37% down, right? Anything is possible.
Sure.
In my opinion,
anything is possible.
But,
yeah, Randy, don't dudes yell. God, him and God, watching him and Ethan go at it over XBI, I don't know, I just chuckle. I don't know. I never know if Ethan is joking or not. Like I can never read him.
yeah.
But sorry, I was just referring to Randy talking in the chat there.
No, that's fine. Yeah, so far, XBI has just been garbage. It's breaking down, right? So when things you expect are like, I'll go back to the Netflix example, but you can apply it across the board, right? So Netflix, the 20 week is actually crossing over the 200 week, which is an inherently bullish scenario, yet you have the price action inherently bearish, right? So when you see XBI, which has been sideways for a long time, start to break down out of that, there's one of 2 options, right? It's a false breakdown, reverses higher, and has a monster week, like a bullish engulfing, or it's the start of a bigger breakdown, right? Same thing with XLU, XLE, XLP, like we can go through all of them, right? So, but when the moving averages and everything is trending higher, yet we're breaking below them and we're not recovering above them in a short time, it's definitely time to be very, very cautious.
Yeah. Hey, I got 2 names that are actually holding up all right.
Go.
Rivian and Palantir.
Yeah, Jason said Palantir earlier.
Head and shoulders. Sorry.
I know. I was going to say the same thing, but I was just saying, you know, it's holding up okay right now.
You know, it's holding up great. Square.
I'm telling you, this guy right here, he's gonna get a friendship timeout if he keeps this up.
Yo, look what they did to Chewy. You're talking about no pets, right?
I have no idea what they did to Chewy.
Oh man.
Get
Can
it
we
for the
flip
get
our
it in the
position?
teens.
So-
I was remembering when we were trading this in like the 50s, 60s, and 70s.
Yep.
So can we flip our quarter 3 positions? I could still nail 100% move. Double in my position.
You know what actually looks good? Bill.
That came across the screen. Yeah.
I like it when you say what looks good. I prefer that to this version of you, both of you, that I've been getting tonight. Not that I'm saying you're wrong, or not that I don't appreciate a good bear rant, but you guys are just depressing me.
But
I mean, it's
look,
just
look at
there's
what-
not any setups. There's nothing to. I can't even throw a dart anywhere.
and the price action is what to me is standing out the most. Look at MasterCard, right? Remember how we thought it was insanely strong?
Yeah.
It literally broke over the highs and immediately rejected.
Yeah.
Visa
Same.
also looking weak again.
MasterCard still looks better.
No, 100%. But Visa from 250 straight to 220, right?
I would say MasterCard's a retest of the range right now.
You hope so. We don't know though, right? It could be the false
Well,
breakout.
no, hindsight's always 2020 GP. Of course, I don't know so, but right for now, I would think that that's retesting this range that it went through from March of 21 till June of 23, July of 23. Anyway, potato.
Potato.
I'm so sad.
How I don't understand how Nicola is still in business. Smile Direct Club went out of business. They declared bankruptcy, FYI.
Did they?
Yep, SDC.
Somebody asked me not too long ago what I thought about that, and I was like, why?
Yeah.
Like, why are you? I mean, don't get me wrong. People play with the pennies all the time, and I don't remember where it was in here. So I guess like if you bought in the 40s and you dumped out in the 80s or up at $1, congratulations. But most people aren't that nimble. Right.
Right. And then if you're looking at gasoline's not doing well. Gasoline futures, it's RB in Thinkorswim. I don't know. Yeah.
Gasoline.
Right. Even though gas prices are going up, gasoline futures are getting smoked.
Actually, gas prices have come down a little bit. We did quite a bit of traveling over the last 2 weeks, and gas prices have come down. I've seen gas prices as low as in the 290s a gallon.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
It
was anywhere from 340 down to 290, and today I saw 299 just in my neighborhood.
Yeah, the high as I saw was I think 409, and we're sitting about 380.
I mean, you're talking about regular, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not.
The high I saw was this past week, or sorry, not this last Friday, but the Friday before last. It was 340 was the highest I saw. Down here in the southeast.
CBOE looks good. It should there. literally they're about to introduce 5-minute options.
Wow,
the way
look
they're
at
going.
that. What's
The way
ICE?
they're going.
ICE doesn't, it didn't do anything for me. CBOE though. Chicago Board of Exchange.
Yeah.
This was fun, guys.
You know, it's another one that looks pretty decent. GitLab.
GitLab, see, keep them coming. Keep what looks good coming. GitLab, I like me some GitLab, to be honest with you. I don't know if I like it here though, but I like it.
J&J looks like it's about to get smoked out of the water.
Yeah, everything mega, anything is mega, and tiny is getting all over.
Yep.
Randy said he's thinking of a starter in CBOE.
This is for whatever reason, Randy. I like the chart, but this market is not rewarding breakouts, right? That's the biggest concern. So if you were thinking about it, I would potentially buy the retest of the breakout, which happens literally like the week after it breaks out. So
Corrections over time or price. I know last weekend I saw a whole lot of doom and gloom, and now I'm seeing the doom and gloom from you guys. Jason said this guy's sopping wet, so he replied, "This was not fun, LMAO."
Right, but TTD looks good. I think net looks good.
Yeah, I like net.
Yeah,
I ran down some charts that I like. Well, not that necessarily have better setups. Net is one of them that I like, but I like Path right here. I mean I like Path right here.
Yeah. My bigger concern, Bags, is a lot of these names that have been basing sideways are starting to break down again, right? So it's almost like it was stage 2 distribution or whatever was going on. So my bigger concern here is that this is not consolidation after seeing the moves in like Square, seeing the moves in PayPal, seeing the moves in seeing the moves in a lot of these names, like they're starting to, like Boeing, a lot of these names are starting to break down after sideways action.
I like S here. That's cybersecurity. We mentioned cyber earlier. I would really like to see it pop back over that 1750 range, but I still like it. The week and the month are still young. I mean, it's an easy stop out, right? You lose all those moving averages, you're out of the trade. ZS, we already talked about Z scalar. I like it even better at 165, right?
Yeah.
Roblox actually has a long way to go, but it's fighting. It'll look better above 31.
Yep. Yeah, App Lovin looks pretty good. APP.
I'm still watching to add more Tesla. Very careful, just being very eye on this. I think my entry was around 245, so I don't want to get too heavy at this price point. And last week was a pretty good pull into the 230s, but I want to see some resolution. I don't want to get too heavy in this same area. What else did I say I liked?
I kind of liked the look of Snow for more of a squeeze through kind of that 155, almost 160 would kind, and then a double bottom would kind of confirm through like 170, 173. But again, it's one of those names that's just in a fucking range, and like I don't know. The
Wing
range
looks good. Wing.
Wing.
Wing stop.
Damn, now I want some wings.
Damn.
Does look good. That looks really good. Like I've said before, I'm trying to get more consolidated names, so I'm looking to sell out of some positions. I bought some more Amazon last week, near the lows. I was happy with that.
Not connected together.
DraftKings, underneath it's kind of short-term MAs, but it's been holding up all right. I mean, it's had a 100% run, 100% move this year.
Randy says fresh. I mean, not terrible. It looks a lot like Rivian, but Rivian looks better. Coin, Jason says, yeah, coin's holding up.
Ain't doing
Nick,
it.
you brought up crypto earlier. I mean, we saw Bitcoin pop above 28 earlier today, and now back settling to 27. I mean, it's still flirting in this range. So you keep knocking, and eventually you got to go one way or the other, right?
Yep.
And I'm not seeing anything. Not stealing the page out of Cookie's book, but you got to see some improvement to get super bullish in Bitcoin right now. I think we've seen this since March, this range. I mean, GP's beat up for the Qs since July or May, the end of May, June. This was the same range since March. So I think people are getting tired of waiting and watching. But Bitcoin, right, and crypto in general, the moment you're tired of waiting and watching is something happens. They dip it or rip it.
Yep. You know what's another one that looks somewhat decent? Domino's, DPZ.
DPZ. Flagging.
At the pivot, like the top of the base.
Yeah, flagging. That don't look bad.
Spot also looks decent, but I hate trading that name or even being a part of it.
Which one, GP?
Spot.
Spot.
You got to see, once you're done looking at this, you got to see FN,
FN.
Fabrinet.
What the hell is that?
I don't know. I believe it's security,
Just something making a new 52-week high.
just casually.
Yeah. You know,
And there's another one, Autodesk, that is so coiled. But I got no direction here, right? That's the bigger problem. Like,
Yeah.
It's just coiled. So whatever the move is out of this coil is going to be powerful.
I mean,
It should be to the upside, but there's a lot of selling underneath. So just you gotta watch for the break here.
I would say, that would pop to like in the 250s, don't you think, Nick?
I mean,
If it to the upside, if it were to go to the upside.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, just around there. Another one that's, if you like to dress nice, Abercrombie and Fitch.
Yeah, that one went big. ANF.
Man, I didn't even know they were still around.
Apparently they are, and they send their condolences.
Damn. What about Lulu?
Range bound.
Yeah. We got
Foot Locker is just Foot Locker is about to go bankrupt, dude. It looks awful.
Yeah, Foot Locker's been terrible ever since Kramer bought it.
Yeah, that just looks like another bear flag after monster volume.
Your Duolingo still looks all right, and it's definitely holding. I didn't like the candle on Friday, but
Yeah,
kind of holding up there.
Duolingo looks okay. So does Mandy.
Yeah.
Monday
Yep.
looks
But
okay.
it's all just range bound, right? Like nothing's really. Oh my gosh, they destroyed Ring RNG. Holy moly.
Jesus, that one kind of fell off my radar.
Yeah, mine too. Pulling up
Wow.
some blasts from the past here. Pager duty forever in the 20s.
Yep. But Pager Duty, Chewy, Ring, dude, like it's bananas what they've done to so many names across the board.
Oh,
Hextron. Twilio. Twilio's challenged. I hold Twilio. I've got a position, but it's challenged. It lost all those moving averages over the last 2 weeks. So I'm still holding on. Like it's still range bound. Drinking game. But yeah, it needs back up into the 63s. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. Bands will make her dance. Bandwidth. Yeah, that does not look bueno.
Dash looks okay.
What about Grubhub?
I think it's been doing well.
What is that? Grubhub?
Tell me when T-Doc goes bankrupt.
yeah, no kidding. It's in the T-Doc's in the teens now, isn't it?
Yep.
Oof.
Yeah.
Kathy.
She's not still buying more, is she? I think she must still might be.
Oh, I have no idea if she is or not. I'm just saying I know that was a very large position.
It's no longer large.
Kathy's arc. Let's see. Willio's her 8th largest position now. Wow. When did she start?
And 10 is just.
T-Doc is still her 14th largest position.
It used to be number 1, but price changed and it became 14.
Yeah, she has still a big weighting in it. No, actually, it's not. She must have sold some somewhere. I don't know.
CVS doesn't look that great.
Let's search up the old T-Doc trades here. Shit, she bought September 21st. A small buy. She hasn't sold.
That's because there's no one else buying or
To
selling.
buy. You're stuck, Catherine.
There's literally no one left.
All right. Well, this was a fun episode. Yes, drowning.
On watch.
Grubhub was bought out.
Yep.
Thanks. Thank you for that. All right, guys. Well, if you weren't excited about the market tomorrow, you must be in a coffin.
So did you see the note that Google came out with? I mean, Goldman came out with today?
No, what did they say?
They said mega caps are the cheapest they've been in 6 years.
I saw that. Yeah.
Whenever Goldman comes out and says things, I always want to take the other side of things. So that's the other part of my spidey senses.
Goldman liars. Goldman does not look good.
No,
I mean, yeah. I mean, regardless, again, like there's no setups, and the wind is not at our back at the current.
but not even
moment.
to the downside, right? Not yet.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I
So-
agree with you.
So you either need to see a monster week from the Bulls this week, or a monster week from the Bears. I think is how this
don't-
needs to go.
I don't think it is going to pay to, like, you need to stay on top of your scanning and stay on top of your your alert set, because like you said, strong week could send these names to the top, the high end of the ranges, and before we know it, we got stocks breaking out left and right. But
Need to see it though, man. As of now, nothing, right? So
yeah,
why would small and mid caps take leadership? It's a question.
why would they?
I got nothing.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Like if interest rates are high, the small caps and mid caps get destroyed, right?
Yeah,
Like,
so right. And it sounds
so-
like a lot of like the mega caps had pretty much locked in all of their debt, if they have any debt, or all their, whatever. Like the rising interest rates hasn't really affected them.
Yeah, they sold debt at 0%, right?
Percent.
So, and they're holding a buttload of cash in non-duration risk crap, right? Like the banks, they're not going to get a bank run. We've talked about this before, so they're in a better position. And I think the Q's only hit like 9% down, right, or 8% down, or something like that. Yet the destruction in so many different names is just kind of bonkers across the
Speaking
board.
of Rivian earlier, the Wall Street Journal just published a hit piece. Rivian's quest to build the ultimate truck burns through billions. After a splashy debut, the EV maker has struggled to keep production up and costs down, and has been losing $33,000 for every vehicle sold.
Oof.
So I think we know we're going to see the action on Rivian tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah, well, yeah. Today was kind of a sign. It tried to go higher and then got sold again. So, it's what it is ultimately. But in the chat, rates blowing off, rubber band stretch. I can't agree with you more, man. Right? Like, it's all there, but it just continues to push and push and push until we see that break, that fever pitch break. There, like, this can go higher. It's only, I think the nominal rate they want is like 5.25, right? We're only at 4.7 here. So it can continue to go higher, and then it can go sideways. It doesn't need to break down. Right? You hope the parabola comes back down, but I don't know. If we get a big bust move in rates down, I think there's stuff that's going to be inherently wrong with the markets in general.
Yeah. Well, shit, fellas.
That makes sense. Goldman says buy large cap, buy small cap, mid cap. That makes sense to me. But other than that, I don't see why, because rates continue to go higher. It's not the cash rich companies that are going to get smoked.
And with that, we are.
I'm optimistically cautious, but I'm also 1 foot out the door for the moment.
And with that, we're done for the night. Thanks everybody for jumping on and tuning in. This has been the Depression Zone with Holding Bags and JFTI and GP, the true ultimate bear porn for you. And this was not a video for engagement, but to trick the algorithms, nothing like that. So we'll be back, and
Is that the
we'll
first
have-
one in our existence?
We'll have more dulcet tone. I think this is definitely the most bearish that you have ever been in any of our episodes thus far. I have been bearish. Nick has been bearish. Nick and I have been bearish together. But never have you been so bearish. And I think you ooze the bearishness off on Nick, and through symbiosis over the internet, he got more bearish. And yeah, I'm gonna rethink my entire life.
Well, you should definitely fade me, because then that would make everyone happy. I'm happy to be wrong.
Just gonna recalibrate everything that I've ever done, and just try to be the best human. Just try to be the best human I can. I might have a drink before bed. I'd never drink, but I might have a drink. And yeah, thanks everybody. Like, comment, and subscribe for more bear porn.
Now connected together.